All right, so get ready, because today we are going to dive deep into a world where, get this,
Okay.
a retired gym teacher is taking on Einstein.
Oh, wow.
We're exploring a book
Uh-oh.
called Textbook Ether Light, written by Randy Lee Holmes
Right.
back in 2017.
Hmm?
And he claims to have evidence for this thing called aether, which is a concept that,
Right.
most physicists kind of left behind a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're going to find out if an outsider
Interesting.
really can rewrite
Yeah.
how we understand the universe.
It's a really intriguing premise.
Yeah.
You see, before Einstein, the idea of aether was pretty mainstream. Scientists thought that light needed some kind of medium to travel through space, just like sound waves need air.
Right, right.
But then Einstein came along with his theories of relativity and basically said, nope, light can travel through a vacuum just fine.
Right.
So aether went out of fashion. Holmes is trying to bring it back
He is.
in a big way.
Yeah, so he claims he has visual evidence for aether.
Okay.
It's something he calls the aether electromagnetic system, or AEMS.
All right.
And his experiments involve something I bet you have at home.
Oh,
A plasma TV.
interesting. Okay.
He shines all these different light sources onto a dark screen
Right.
and just observes the patterns.
Oh, okay.
So what is he looking for there?
Well, he says these patterns are like a map
Okay.
of light's electromagnetic components.
Okay.
So he describes there's a vertical white line,
Okay.
and that represents the electrical aspect of light. And
Right.
crossing this line are horizontal lines with color bands,
Oh.
which he says represents magnetism.
So he's seeing shapes.
Yeah, and he claims these patterns show specific shapes, like
Okay.
an X, A plus S,
All right.
or even something that resembles a DNA chromosome.
So just to be clear, he's shining, like, say, a flashlight at a TV, and in the reflection, he sees these shapes.
Yeah.
And from that, he deduces the existence of aether.
That's his claim.
Okay.
And it gets even wilder.
Right.
Holmes says these shapes are evidence
Okay.
of faster than light travel.
Okay. Now,
And that's where things get
right.
really controversial.
Faster than light.
Yeah.
Didn't Einstein pretty much shut that down?
Well, because according to our current understanding of physics,
Right.
nothing can travel faster than light.
Right.
It's like a cosmic speed limit.
Yeah. So what's the scientific basis for that claim?
So Holmes cites the work of researchers like James Hill and Barry Cox, who have explored faster than light concepts mathematically.
Right.
But it's important to note
Yeah.
that these ideas haven't been widely accepted
Okay.
by the scientific community.
So we're talking fringe science here.
Yeah, I mean,
But that's part of what makes this deep dive so interesting.
yeah, for sure.
Right. We're stepping outside the textbook
Absolutely.
and exploring a truly
Yeah.
unconventional idea.
It's fascinating.
And to be fair to Holmes,
Yeah.
even Einstein's theories were considered pretty radical at one point.
That's right.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe there are
Yeah.
aspects of the universe we still don't fully understand.
Right.
However,
Yeah.
it's crucial to approach these claims
Right.
with a healthy dose of skepticism
Of course, of course.
and critical thinking.
We're not here to endorse or debunk Holmes's ideas.
Yeah,
We're just here to explore them.
exactly.
Now, this AEMS thing,
Mm-hmm.
you mentioned it's a system.
Right.
What exactly does that mean?
So Holmes describes the AEMS as a kind of universal energy field present everywhere, kind of like a web that connects everything in the universe.
So it's more than just aether.
Yeah, he believes it's the foundation
It's like the framework
for all matter and energy,
for the whole universe.
according to Holmes.
By traveling through it,
All right.
reveals its structure.
Yeah, and he believes his experiments somehow reveal this.
That's the gist of it.
Okay.
And here's where things get even more interesting.
Right.
Holmes believes the AEMS
Yeah.
is a divine creation.
So
He sees it as evidence for a higher power, connecting physics to spirituality.
a force that governs the laws of physics
That's
and the very existence of the universe.
not something you see every day.
Yeah.
What are the implications of this idea?
Well, that's one way to look at it.
Does this suggest that our current understanding of physics is somehow incomplete?
Holmes argues that mainstream science has overlooked the spiritual dimension of the universe,
Okay.
that by focusing solely on the material,
Right.
we've missed a crucial piece of the puzzle.
That's a bold claim.
Yeah. To say the least.
Yeah.
What would a universe governed by a divine creation look like?
It does, and this is where things really start to
Why don't
get
you go into detail about that?
into the realm of speculation.
Okay.
Holmes believes that if we could fully grasp the principles of the AEMS, we could unlock extraordinary possibilities.
Like what?
Things like anti-gravity technology, teleportation, even interstellar, interdimensional travel.
Now we're talking flying cars and teleporting to other dimensions.
Right.
This is some serious science fiction stuff.
It is.
What's the connection between the AEMS and these like futuristic technologies?
So Holmes suggests that by understanding and manipulating the AEMS, we could tap into a source of energy and control over matter that we haven't even begun to imagine.
Okay, so we've gone from a retired gym teacher
shining a flashlight at a TV to potentially reshaping the very fabric of reality.
Wild ride.
This is definitely a wild ride.
It certainly is.
Yeah.
But remember, these are just Holmes's interpretations and theories.
Right.
They haven't been validated by mainstream science.
Right.
But even so, it's fascinating to consider the implications of his ideas.
Exactly. And that's what we're all about here on the Deep Dive.
For sure.
Exploring the unknown.
Yeah.
Even the seemingly outlandish.
Absolutely.
And prompting you to think about the universe in new ways.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts so far?
Yeah.
Are you intrigued? Skeptical?
Yeah.
Keep those thoughts in mind as we continue our exploration of Randy Lee Holmes's textbook, Aetherlight.
In the next part of our deep dive, we'll delve even deeper into Holmes's theories.
Oh, yeah.
We'll explore his claims about building a cold fusion machine, his ideas about the nature of light and matter, and even his light IQ test.
Counts.
All based on his understanding of the AEMS.
It's going to be a fascinating journey.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
All right. So let's dive into some of the more practical applications that Holmes envisions based on his ether theories.
Yeah.
One that really caught my eye was his claim about building a cold fusion machine.
Yeah, that one definitely raised an eyebrow for me, too.
Right.
Cold fusion has been kind of a controversial topic in the scientific world for a long time.
Yeah.
Can you give us a quick breakdown for those who might not be familiar with cold fusion?
So cold fusion is the idea of achieving nuclear fusion at or near room temperature. The fusion we know of requires incredibly high temperatures and pressures, like those found in the core of the sun.
Right, of course.
So most scientists consider cold fusion highly improbable, if not impossible, based on our current understanding of physics.
So how does Holmes claim to have achieved cold fusion?
Well, here's where it gets really interesting.
What setup are we talking about?
Holmes claims to have created a cold fusion device using everyday materials.
Like what?
Specifically, plastic and nylon fabric.
Hold on.
He described...
He's rubbing plastic and fabric together.
Rubbing these materials together to create what he calls an anti-gravity cold fusion charge.
That sounds a little hard to believe, even for someone who claims to have photographed ether.
It's important to note that Holmes's claims haven't been independently verified or replicated by other scientists.
Of course, right.
But according to his book, this charge he creates allows small objects to levitate for about 14 minutes.
14 minutes of levitation.
Yeah.
That's a pretty bold claim.
He even claims to have demonstrated this to his students and colleagues.
Explain the science behind how rubbing these materials together creates this charge. Or how it relates to the AEMS.
He ties it back to his idea that the AEMS governs all matter and energy.
Right.
He believes that by manipulating the electromagnetic properties of these materials through friction, he's essentially tapping into the AEMS and its ability to control gravity.
So he's suggesting there's a connection between electromagnetism, gravity, and the AEMS, and that by understanding this connection, we can manipulate gravity itself.
It is.
That's some next level thinking.
And whether or not his claims about cold fusion hold up under scientific scrutiny, his willingness to explore these unconventional ideas is certainly thought-provoking.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It challenges us to expand our thinking about what might be possible.
It does.
Now, Besides cold fusion and anti-gravity,
Right.
what other potential applications does Holmes envision for his AEMS theory?
Well, he outlines a whole range of possibilities.
All
We're
right.
talking teleportation of matter faster than light travel.
Okay.
Even tapping into the energy of the universe
Wow.
for limitless power.
Okay.
He suggests that by understanding the AEMS, we could essentially rewrite the laws of physics.
It sounds almost too good to be true.
Yes.
But even if we set aside the more far-fetched applications,
It does.
his core ideas about the nature of light and matter are pretty intriguing.
Right.
Can you tell us a little more about that?
One of Holmes's central ideas is that light is the fact of everything.
Okay.
He believes that light is not just something we see, but the fundamental building block of reality itself.
That's it.
He argues that everything in the universe,
You get a profound statement.
including matter, is ultimately composed of light.
How does he connect that idea to his AEMS theory?
He sees the AEMS as the medium through which light manifests and creates the material world.
Okay.
He describes it as a kind of...
So if we could understand this blueprint,
cosmic blueprint,
this AEMS
template upon which the universe is built,
we could potentially manipulate matter at its most fundamental level. That's a powerful concept.
And it gets even more interesting when he brings in his interpretation of biblical creation. So Holmes sees a connection between his light is the fact of everything concept,
weaving together science and spirituality,
and the idea of light being the first thing created.
That's not something you encounter every day
in the biblical narrative.
In a physics book.
Right. And it highlights a question that has fascinated thinkers for centuries.
Yeah.
Is there a point where science and spirituality intersect?
Right.
Are they two sides of the same coin?
Yeah.
Holmes seems to think so.
Yeah.
He suggests that by exploring the mysteries of light, we might uncover profound truths about the nature of existence itself.
It's a fascinating perspective.
It is.
It reminds us that even in a world increasingly dominated by technology and data, there's still room for mystery.
Absolutely.
For wonder, for exploring the unknown.
Speaking of unconventional, let's talk about Holmes's light IQ test.
Okay.
It's not every day you find a physics book with a built-in quiz.
So what's that all about?
The Light IQ test is a series of 20 true-false questions designed to test your understanding of light and matter in the universe, all based on Holmes's AEMS theory. So it covers a wide range of concepts.
More than just a quiz.
From the nature of light waves to the potential for faster-than-light travel.
It's a way for readers to engage his ideas on a deeper level.
Holmes even includes an answer key. And his assessment of what he considers an average score.
It's almost like he's issuing a challenge.
He suggests that most people would score quite low.
To the reader.
Highlighting the challenging nature of his concepts.
Like, do you really understand the universe?
I think.
Are you willing to think outside the box?
Right.
And question what you've been taught.
It's a call to explore.
Right.
To question, to delve into the mysteries of the universe. And perhaps discover something new along the way.
And that, I think, is the essence of the deep dive.
Yeah.
We're not here to provide definitive answers.
Right.
But to spark curiosity.
Exactly.
To encourage exploration.
Yeah.
And to remind you that there's always more to learn.
Absolutely.
Even in the most unexpected places.
And who knows? Maybe some of you listening will be inspired to pick up where Holmes left off.
Right.
To delve deeper into these mysteries and make your own contributions.
I love that thought.
To our understanding of the universe.
Because ultimately, science is driven by curiosity. Right. By the desire to understand the world around us.
Absolutely.
And sometimes the most groundbreaking discoveries come from those who are willing to challenge conventional thinking and explore the uncharted territories of knowledge. You know, it's pretty amazing how Holmes manages to connect these grand theories about the universe to our everyday lives. He really emphasizes that, like we're all part of this AEMS made of light, interconnected with everything around us.
It's a key point.
Yeah.
It shifts the perspective from seeing ourselves as isolated beings to recognizing our place in this vast interconnected web of energy and matter.
It's a concept.
It's a concept found in various spiritual traditions, but Holmes grounds it in his scientific framework.
And he doesn't shy away from the potential implication.
No, he doesn't.
This interconnectedness.
He suggests that with a deeper understanding...
He even suggests that with a deeper understanding of the AEMS, we could achieve things like telekinesis.
Yeah.
Manipulating objects with our thoughts.
It's definitely one of his more speculative ideas.
Right.
But it's intriguing to think about.
No, that would be mind-blowing.
If everything is connected through this AEMS, is it possible that our thoughts, which are also a form of energy, could interact with it in a way that influences the physical world?
Even if telekinesis remains in the realm of science fiction, the idea that we're all connected through this underlying energy field is pretty powerful in itself.
Absolutely.
Makes you reconsider the boundaries.
It challenges us to think
between what we consider self
and other, doesn't it?
With the universe in a whole new way.
Yeah, and if we are all connected through this AEMS, what does that mean?
For our understanding of consciousness.
Question.
Is consciousness something that emerges?
That philosophers and scientists
have been grappling with.
Or is it something more fundamental, something woven into the fabric of the universe itself?
Holmes's AEMS theory adds another layer to the discussion, suggesting that consciousness might be a property of the universe itself. Something that we tap into through our connection to this underlying energy field.
It's a fascinating concept.
It challenges us to think beyond the material world and consider the possibility of a deeper, more interconnected reality.
So, as we wrap up our deep dive
Exactly.
into textbook Aetherlight. Yeah. It's clear that Randy Lee Holmes offers a unique and thought-provoking a perspective on the nature of reality.
Yeah.
His AEMS theory, while not validated by mainstream science, challenges us to think outside the box.
And consider the possibility of a universe that is far more interconnected and mysterious than we might have imagined.
Whether you agree with his specific theories or not, his work serves as a reminder to stay curious.
Of course.
To question assumptions. And to never stop exploring the vast and wondrous unknown.
And that's what the deep dive is all about.
Exactly.
Encouraging you to explore the fringes of knowledge, to delve into the unconventional, and to come away with a renewed sense of wonder about the universe and our place within it.
We hope you've enjoyed this journey into the world of Aether, AEMS, and the mind of Randy Lee Holmes.
Absolutely.
And remember, even if you don't find all the answers, the act of seeking them is what makes the journey worthwhile.
So keep those minds open.
Absolutely.
Keep asking questions. And who knows what incredible discoveries await us just around the corner. Until next time, happy exploring.
Sounds good.